Hi, friends. It's Marcy here from Stampin' with Marcy. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Southwestern Ontario, Canada, and I'd like to thank you for pressing play on today's video. It is Monday, November the 3rd. Can you believe we are into a whole brand new month? I know I sure can't. Also, we changed our clocks back yesterday morning at 2 a.m. So I'm just more than a little tired. So I know I'm not alone. My poor Maisie is going crazy with the time change because she's like, it is my breakfast time. It is 7 a.m., but the new time is 6 a.m. So, no, it's not. I have to make you wait. So, anyhow, please say hello when you join me. Let me know where you're coming from. I love to know where my viewers are in the world. Don't forget to click that subscribe button below, as well as that notification bell so you don't miss any future videos from me. Hello, Amy. How are you today? So I thought that today, because the November online exclusives go live tomorrow, I thought it was the perfect time to share one of the fun new bundles that is coming. So let's find it here. It is the Valentine Kisses bundle. And 167310 is the order code number, and it's 5850. And you can order that starting tomorrow, November the 4th. So it's in the new packaging, so that just so you're aware. And I showed you how because we no longer have the clamshell with any going forward, any new products, the DVD case, clamshell case, whatever you want to call it. So because we don't have that anymore, what I did with my stamp set is I took a Sharpie marker, a fine tip one. Is it going to show? I think you can see. And I traced on the hard plastic sheet. So there's a soft plastic and a bit harder. It's like a window sheet. So I took my fine tip Sharpie marker and I went around all of my stamps so that I knew exactly where everything goes, as well as what is missing. If I've been playing, and photopolymer has that lovely habit of sticking to everything. If you don't put it away, I've had them stick to catalogs, packages of paper, and DSP. So yes. Okay, so you know how, if you're a regular viewer, you know how I like to show you how to stretch those shopping dollars even further by using stamp sets that in a different way, that they were not designed for the occasion. So this is a Valentine's set. However, if you pull in a few other products, like I've pulled in the Ornamental Christmas for the sentiments, and the homemade treats. This is a September online. So is the Ornamental Christmas. This bundle is $62, 166017. So the homemade treats, but I didn't want the sentiment. So I'm using the gingerbread man and the Santa hat. As well, I'm using the branching out dies. Oh my gosh, guys, if you haven't ordered these yet, they are on low inventory. You need to get them. I cannot stop using them. And then, of course, Forever Plaid. I absolutely love this 3D embossing folder, and look at this adorable card that I have created. So this is a Valentine's card and set, sorry. And I've turned it into a Christmas card by changing the sentiment, adding some fun other images like our cute little gingerbread man and the Santa hat, our little bear. He's like Yogi Bear. Um, those of a certain age will remember that. Yogi and Boo Boo. What was it called? Just called Yogi Bear, the cartoon. So adding in some red and white peppermints and the red and white baker's twine. And then I've turned my Merry Christmas kind of on an angle and added a couple of those gingerbread men in there. I think it's just so cute. And you'll notice I used the stamp here. It's got the star, the heart, dots, Christmas tree, and candy cane. I used it with Versamark on my basic beige to give that shadow look in the background. So let's get started here. We are going to stamp Yogi Bear. Now, I didn't want to stamp him in black, so my colors are, besides the Versamark, we've got Real Red, Early Espresso, and Pecan Pie. So Early Espresso is my outline for my bear. And this die, oh my gosh, you guys, we're going to just give that a second. The die for this cute bear. Can you see the raised here, the raised little blade? That's going to cut his arms so that he can hold things. Now, I actually took my paper snips and I cut even more so that I could, his hands are supposed to be attached. So, but I cut it so that I could slip that gingerbread cookie in there. All right, we don't need this anymore. Let's get this out of the way for the moment. So now I did a bit of stamp surgery on my stamp. I'm finding certain sentiments, it's very difficult when there's a lot of excess rubber around it to judge whereabouts I need to stamp on my project. So I should have done it before I put the image stamp on, but I didn't. So there, it's cut down. I've cut part of that S off the image sheet, but not off of here. I just wanted it. I wanted to know whereabouts I was stamping so that I kept it. And that looks pretty good for my stamping. Might be just a titch off, but that's okay. It's straight enough for me. So I'm going to come down here like so, because I want this centered as much as possible. I want Yogi to be, oh, and I went a little low, but I'm okay with that. I want him to be as centered as possible on my my sentiment on my label. Okay, so then actually before we close up, let's take our insert paper before I go and do my next stamping, and I'm going to take my Merry Christmas and I'm going to stamp center. There we go. The Early Espresso is the nice deep brown, so it's easily replacing the black that you might normally use. Amy placed her order. Nice for that this bundle. So cute. All right, so we are going to go, because our Merry Christmas is on an angle, our cute little gingerbreads men are going to be on an angle. And with the big sentiment and the gingerbread men, you don't have to write as much. You can just say to and then from. You don't have to do all that writing when it's a little smaller area, when you have a bigger image in there or sentiment. All right, so we've got our pecan pie. So let's ink up our cute little gingerbread man. Set him aside. I'm done with that ink pad. And now our real red for our cute little Santa hat, which is over here. And here we go. So this fun bundle, the homemade treats, it is a cling, the red rubber, the cling mount. That means that it will definitely be retiring. It's not going to be available going forward. Any red rubber cling, they will not be converting them to photopolymer moving forward. Remember, we talked about the fact that Stampin' Up! Was going away from the red rubber, so all stamps will be photopolymer. So any stamp that is red rubber now, if you like it, make sure that you get it now, because it will not be available in the future. So next, I need my Versamark, and we are just going to stamp this here and there all over, going one way and then another. I don't care if my Christmas tree is upside down or anything like that. I am just filling the space. It's like confetti. I'm just filling that whole space so that our Yogi Bear is sitting over top. Just filling it in, moving it around. You don't have to do this step. You can leave it plain if you like. Totally up to you. And let's add down at the bottom here. Add a tree there, or part of one anyways, and there. Okay, cover this up. And there, can you see that we've got that completely covered fun background? Okay. Next, let's color our Yogi Bear. So because I've got the gingerbread cookie, because that is also pecan pie, I'm just using the light pecan pie. I'm not using the dark. I want my bear to be nice and light so that we're not color clashing. I wish we had a early espresso a darker brown marker blend, but we don't. So we make do with what we've got. Okay, and then we are going to just color in really quickly. And hopefully I can, as I'm coloring quick, I don't go outside the lines. But that's what a color lifter is for, right? And I gave my ink a few moments to dry while I stamped everything else before I was coming in to do this. And I'm just going around. There we go. So that I can come in and do quicker. So I hope everybody had a good Halloween. I think we had just under 50 trick-or-treaters here. So we have a lot of candy left over, so I kind of tucked it away. Otherwise, I'd be eating it all because Damon, my oldest son, is in my mind right now. Otherwise, Brad and Danny cannot have it at the moment because of their stomach issues. So Marcy does not need that temptation. So I tucked it away to be a good girl. Don't want to be outgrowing my pants. So I'm not doing any fancy coloring. I am just filling them in. Easy peasy. So last week I had 4 videos for the 12 Days of Christmas calendar kit. Would you like me to do a few more? Or have you seen enough of that? I've got a lot of new products that I can be sharing with you. So it's not like I'm going to ever run out of things to share. I just want to darken this up just a bit more, and my colors will even out as it dries. There we go. All right. Yogi is colored in. So let's bring in the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And where's my plates on my chair here? There they are. So we've got our die. And I've got some tape so that I can get this. Okay, what's going on here? There. My comments disappeared. All right, I think that looks good. So yesterday, I sat down to watch some TV after I was busy doing things. Whoops. I shifted that slightly. So I sat down and turned on my TV later in the afternoon, and oh my gosh, Netflix and all that, they are promoting Christmas movies now. I'm like, no, I'm not quite ready yet. Am I the only one? I'm not quite ready yet for Christmas movies. Give me just a couple days to get over my Halloween. My sisters laugh at me because all my Halloween stuff went away immediately. All right, so let's take our die and just put it up out of the way. So this is what I'm talking about. See how, no, I'm out of view. See how it's cut so that they're right through there. Now, if you didn't want to do the gingerbread man, you could. That set has a candy cane. So let's slide. Come on. We could slide a candy cane through his arms as well. How cute is that, you guys? So cute, I think. All right. So I have already, instead of die cutting these, I've already gone ahead and done the prep work. So let's bring in our silicone draft sheets, and you need a decent pair of scissors because we need to do a little bit of surgery. We need to cut Yogi's hands apart. So we are going to come in and slide that blade in under and then come so that we are on the angle right before that top paw. And we're just going to go around. You're not taking your scissors off. You are just carefully, you just want to cut them apart like so that my hand here can easily grab my gingerbread man. And then I just want to clean that up slightly. So I'm going to come in here on an angle and just kind of round that a smidge better so that I've got a nicer edge. And therefore, my little gingerbread man can slide right in there. Easy peasy, so cute. At least I think it's cute. So I'm going to take my Stampin' Seal, because otherwise liquid glue might get a little messy. So I'm just going to take some Stampin' Seal, and we are going to put a little bit on the back of our gingerbread man. And we are going to slide him in, and I want both legs, but I coming out, but I also want, actually let's trim a smidge more here. Just a hair. I like fussy cutting, so I don't mind doing that, and it's giving that just a little bit bigger of an opening. You don't have to do that. So then we can kind of sort of, we've got one leg kind of coming out like so, and I want the heart to show like that. So it's just a little bit of finagling, and then we can come in with a dot of glue. I didn't want to put any adhesive on the front of my gingerbread man because I wasn't exactly sure where that was going to be hitting. So just a little dot of glue on that paw. And then we're going to do the same thing on the hat. And I want his hat. I want it to be not, well, don't want it to be straight on. Let's pull that back a bit. I don't want the hat to be straight on his head. I want it to be on a fun angle. So we're kind of covering the one eyebrow. And let's trim this down a bit more. If you've got the scissors, why not? There. So I want a little bit more of his eyebrow showing. So if I do that, then we've got just a titch. It's just a little bit of an angle, nothing too severe. All right, so now we are going to come across the back because I want to wind some of the red and white baker's. I got some liquid glue there. Red and white baker's twine. I'm going to wind it back and forth to make a faux bow so that it's nice and fun. So where do we want to start it? Let's put, you can always, if you're not sure, flip it over so that you can see whereabouts. I want it on an angle, so let's do like so. And because I've got that glue there, my adhesive tape, it's going to stick to it. Don't be fumbling with glue dots and all that kind of stuff. Get yourself some Stampin' Seal, or if you like the Stampin' Seal Plus or whatever adhesive tape runner you like. It's going to make it easier for you to get your ribbon and your twine attached, freeing up those hands. So I'm just making that figure 8 loop. I think one is not quite enough. We're going the opposite way this time. No biggie, do whichever way you want. And then I want this slightly smaller. So we're going to stick that. And then come in like so. Oh, you're not quite, you're a little too small. And just guiding it. And then I want that tail to be the other. Got one tail going up, one tail going down. All right. And it's not quite as big as before. That is okay. I just want to kind of zhuzh them. All right. So let's set him aside for just a moment because we got to come in here and we've got our basic beige card base, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. But I will have all of the measurements on my coordinating blog post, which after our live stream is done, give me like 10 minutes to insert this video into my blog post and then publish it so that you can pop on over and get the complete list with all of the measurements. And then we've got our fun embossed layer with real red, and this is 4 by 5 1/4. But because this is a 3D embossing folder that I used on it, it manipulates that cardstock and it kind of shrinks it up. So your measurements are going to be a little different, and that's okay. It might be because it manipulates that cardstock into that new shape. So it's either going to like squish in or squish down. And then we are going to grab some dimensionals. I've got these all cut. There we go. And I got some silver twine there. So again, please leave me a comment, like my video. YouTube likes it when they have content creators. If they've got if they've got lots of comments, lots of likes on their content, they will promote that creator. They will suggest that you watch their content. And that is how my page, my YouTube channel grows, as well as my crafting community. Fluffy stuck to that. There we go. So then we're going to put a dimensional there. And one here. And here. You know I like my dimensionals. And here. And we're just going to peel those backings off. I'm also going to ask if you couldn't please send some positive vibes. Tomorrow my hubby is having his gallbladder removed. He still hasn't gotten the phone call yet as to what time his surgery is at. But I would love some positive thoughts going our way for a successful, easy surgery for him. He's never had surgery before, so I think I'm a little bit more nervous than he is about the whole thing. All right, I'm going to take my Take Your Pick tool, and you'll notice that I kind of unraveled it a bit. I just thought that was kind of fun. So I'm just going to take my Take Your Pick tool and insert it in, and then just run it through so that it kind of unravels some of that, just to give it that little bit of a frayed look. I think it's just kind of, like I said, it's fun. All righty. And I think that looks okay. And then our final thing is to add our fun dots. I love these things. I'm so happy that they are still available. Although I did hoard a bunch. What can I say? If I like a product, I make sure I buy a lot of it for future use. So that I've got, oh, there's a cat hair stuck to that. So that I can continue to use these fun embellishments for years to come. So I'm using all 3 sizes on this lower part in that little triangle, and then I'm going to go a medium and a little. There we go. So, like I said, this is a Valentine's. It's called Valentine's Kisses, but I have turned it into a adorable Christmas card. And there we have the Merry Christmas. Super cute. So now I'm going to be 2 more cards ahead for my Christmas mailing. So that is everything for me today. Thank you so very much for joining me. I hope I have inspired you. Don't forget about this thing is, there's so many products going to be available starting tomorrow. Lots and lots to choose from, every type of style. We've got your cute and whimsical, like this guy here, as well as your elegant flowers and things like that. Crafting set. Yes, so thanks again, and I will see you next week. Bye for now.